Hi fellow beaders, it's JP and I've got a new tutorial for you here. I hope you like this. It is really simple. All you're going to need are some 11s, which I have over here, and some bugles. So for the 11s, what I have are my Yuki, they're Duracoat Opaque Light Watermelon is the color. I really like this color. It's very pretty. I love the opaque watermelon against the white. And this color over here these are Toho. So here they are, and these are Toho 3mm bugle opaque pearl. So for those of you who always want to know the colors, that's what they are. I'm giving you the colors. So this is Duracoat Opaque Light Watermelon, my Yuki for the seed beads for the 11s. And then for the bugles, 3mm bugle opaque pearl. I'm reading that. Luster. Oh, Opaque Pearl Luster, sorry. Anyway, so you do not need, so for the bugles, they can be any other size. You can, if you have a 4mm or 5mm, that'll work too. You don't necessarily have to have the 3mm bugles. So as long as you're consistent with the size. The only difference you'll see is probably that this is going to be a little bit bigger because the bugles are bigger. So, but that is it. So if you don't have the exact 3mm, don't worry about it. Use what you've got. Okay, so other than that, I use 6-pound crystal fireline. So here it is, my fireline. There's the crystal right there. And a couple of jump rings and a lobster claw clasp. Let's get started. Okay, so to start our bracelet, what you're gonna do is pick up 4 11s and 4 bugles. So you should have a total of 8 beads, and you're just gonna bring them down to the bottom of the thread, like so. And then we're gonna go back through all the beads. So just like that. And then make sure you hold on to your tail so it doesn't get pulled. As we make our little ring. So we're just gonna make so once you have this, what you're gonna do is just tie a knot. So all I'm gonna do is just bring these together. And there we have it. So now you should be coming out, well, you should be between an 11 and a bugle. So what you want to do is just go through the closest bugle and the next 11, just like that. And then I'm just gonna go through the bugle. So I want to come out of a bugle to do the next step. So pick up 3 11s and then go into the bugle like so. So I'm coming out of a bugle and I'm going straight into the bugle. And that's what you should get. And then we're just gonna repeat it 3 more times. So again, pick up 3 and go into the bugle. So, and then just make sure that they're sitting kind of a little cluster of 3 like so. And again, pick up 3 and go into the bugle. Whoops, sorry. I am bumping into the camera. Apologies for that. Okay, so the last time, go ahead and pick up the 3 and go into the bugle and then go up into the first 2 beads in this group of 3 here, just like this. I just scattered all the beads. Let's move that a little bit. And so here's what the piece should look like at this point. So you just want to be coming out of this central 11. Then you're going to pick up 4 11s and just go back into that central 11. So here's what you have now. Go into the first 11. Then pick up an 11, go into the next one. And pick up an 11, go into the next one. And one more time. Pick up an 11. Oh, just one. And you're just going to go into this next one and the central one here. Okay, so here's what we got, and then what we're gonna do is actually go ahead and go through these beads again to reinforce. So I'm just going through the beads 2 at a time. I mean, if you watch my videos regularly, you've seen me do this particular diamond piece. I pretty much do them in almost all of my videos, actually. So now that I've gone all the way around just about, I'm just going to go to these last 2 here. Or I'm just going to go through the one and then do the other one. Just makes it a little bit easier. And I should learn to hold on to my work. So there we are. Now I'm just going to go into this central one, and I want to come out of the one on the other side here. Just like that. Okay, I just turned it over just so I can work up, and there we are. So you can see where I'm coming out of. So now pick up a bugle and go into the cluster of seed beads here, this group of 3. So we'll go through the first 2. And then go into the next, the third one here. And then again, pick up another bugle and go into the first 2. And then into the third seed bead. And again, pick up another bugle, go into the 2. And the third one here. All right, so one thing I'm going to do is go ahead and trim this tail thread. Getting that out of the way. Okay, so we have one more bugle to add here and we'll be done. So go ahead and pick up that bugle and note which beads I'm going through. So I'm going to go through this bead here. So, and then the center bead, and you can, and then the bead on the side here. Also, you can go back through this if you want, but I think I've done enough. I think it's tight enough. And now we just got to make our way down to the opposite side here. So I want to get down here to this 11 down there. So go ahead and, you're not adding beads at this point. You should just be making your way down to get into position. Okay, so now you're in position. So what you're going to do is pick up 3 11s, go back through just the central 11, just like so. I'm going to flip it, so I'm working again up, and then I'm going to go through the first 2. Okay, so now I'm going to add my next unit. So I'm going to pick up a bugle and 11, bugle 11, bugle 11, and a bugle. So what you want is a total of 4 bugles and 3 11s. Go back through just the central 11. All right, so this is our next unit. Now what you're going to do is go through the bugle, pick up 3 11s, and go into the next bugle. So as you're doing this, make sure you wanna make sure there's no slack in the thread. You wanna just keep that nice and snug. It doesn't have to be super tight, but definitely no slack. And then again, 3 11s. And you're just gonna go into this next bugle. And here we go. So that's what you should have. And then we're just gonna do this one last time. I'm again gonna pick up 3 11s and go into this 4th bugle here. So this is what you should have at this point. This is what it should look like. Okay, so now the tricky part, or not really the tricky part, but just want to pay attention to which 11s you're going to go through. So you see how this, we added that group of 4, or we added 3, but we went through this central one here. So we're actually going to go up into this bead and then into that central one. And then you're going to come out of this one here on the opposite side. So it's going to look a little off for a second, but don't worry, we will fix all this. So here's what it should look like. Now what you're going to do is we're going to add the second row bugle. So pick up a bugle and then go into the 11s over here. And then go into this next 11, and we're in position to add another bugle. So go ahead and pick up a bugle and go into the next 2. And then our 11. And again, we're gonna pick up a bugle, go into the first 2. You can go into all 3 if you want. It's usually with the angle that I'm at, it's usually just faster to just go through 2 and then get into the 3rd one. So here I am. I'm gonna pick up my last bugle, And I want to go into, again, you want to go into the same group that I did before. So you go into the 2, like I did there. And then you come out of the one that's on the side and go up into the bugle. So this is what you should have. So now one of the things that you're going to note is that these bugles here are spread apart, not like they are here where they're right next, they're flush against each other. So in order to get them to be flush, what you're going to do is you're going to come out of this bugle and you're going to go into this bugle here. And then go back across the bugle, and then you can go up into the seed beads. And that tightens it all up. See, just give it a little tug and that should get those bugles nice and flush. Okay, so we are now in position to go ahead and add the next unit, and you're just going to be repeating this. So now, just like before, you want to make your way down to that central 11 there. So go ahead and go through the next 2 11s, so you're in position. Then pick up 3 11s. And you're just going to go back around that central 11. Okay, then go into the first 2. So I just coming up out of those 2, and then we're going to pick up a bugle, an 11, a bugle, 11, bugle, 11, and a 4th bugle. So again, remember 4 bugles, 3 11s. Go back around now this middle 11. And just like before, you've got your little set here, or little ring, I should say. Go up into the bugle. And we're going to add some 11s, but it looks like I'm running out of 11s. So let's grab some more out of my tube. All right, so now what you want to do is pick up 3 and go into the bugle. So, and we've done this a couple times, I've already shown you. So this is all repetitive. Now all the steps I'm done showing you here are, I've shown you before. So I've picked up 3 again, going into the bugle. And 3 again. And I'm going to go into this bugle here. Okay, so now remember, we gotta go up into these 11 O's like so. So you don't want to go into this central 11 O when you do this part. So I went through the 2, I'm going to go into my 3rd one here. Okay, so I'm in position. So now I need to add my bugles. So I've got to add my 4 bugles all the way around. So pick up a bugle, go into the seed beads here. Make sure the thread doesn't get wrapped around your bracelet as you're working. Okay, so, and remember, we're going to fix this little gap. Go into the seed bead, or the 3rd 11 here. And then pick up another bugle and go into the 2. And then the 3rd. And now pick up another bugle and go into the 2 and the 3rd. So I'm going a little faster now. Oh God, I hope I wasn't off camera there. Okay. Last one, pick up a bugle and we're gonna go. So make sure you're going into the ones that are, like I'm showing you here, the 2 in this, to the side here. Then we're gonna come out of this 3rd one. And then I went through the bugle also. So now what we're gonna do is just close up this gap. So go down into the other bugle and then back up the 1st bugle, and we should be able to close up that gap. This is basically the last step in the unit, and then you just wanna, so there we are. We are in position, or not in position, but we have finished the 3rd unit. Now just get into position to make the next unit. So go through the 11s, then the bugle and the next 2 11s. Okay, so I'm gonna stop there, and you're just gonna keep repeating the steps until you get the length that you desire. And that is all there is to this. And just so you get an idea of how many to make, so to make an inch, you need about 2 of these, give or take. It's not exact. It's more like 2 and like a little bit over, but basically you get the gist of how much you'll need. And anyway, this only takes bugles and seed beads, so you should have plenty of beads to work with. So keep going, and I'll see you at the end. Okay, if you've continued making your bracelet, here's what you should have. So here's what it looks like. I've added on a lobster claw clasp here with the jump ring, and over here on this side, and that's it. So if you like this tutorial, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. Thanks for watching.